Yeah, feel free to use the chat function. I'll keep it open. I also have Trevor here. So he's the math coordinator for the STEM Success Center for First to STEM. And we have Enrique Garcia, one of our tutors. So very, very exciting. So if you have any questions, please definitely throw them in the chat. You're also welcome to unmute. That's cool too. But I also get the chat is probably more streamlined. Cool. So I'm going to get started. Basically, what I'm going to do is kind of outline how to use Degree Planner because everyone's going to have to use it. It's just a thing you'll do here at Cal State San Marcos to plan all your classes. And then after I kind of outline all that stuff, feel free to ask questions. We do, like I said, we have Enrique here. He's actually a student, so he can kind of help you. Like we can all help you one-on-one, but he probably knows a little bit more tips and tricks than I do. But we'll start just with like the basics. So, oh, cool. So let me go back. Sorry, my computer is lagging. Uh-oh. Okay, the first thing is, where is Degree Planner? I get that question a lot. It's basically in your My CSUSM account through the Student Center. I didn't take a screenshot, but once you log into your account, you should be able to click on Student Center. From there, on the left is like all the information like academics, financial aid. On the right is like, to-do list, your messages, any like notifications you need. But we're going to focus on the Degree Planner. So under academics, you'll see that and you can click on it. And once you do that, it's going to take you to the actual page. So you should see something like this. And feel free, if you are on a laptop right now, feel free to follow along. I'll like slow down a little bit. You can actually log into Student Center right now and just click on Degree Planner and like see it yourself. That way, when we go to questions, you can definitely ask like personalized questions. So once you actually click on that, you should get that page. And so this is just like a general overview. So first of all, what is it? I kind of mentioned, but I mean, it is in the name. You're planning your entire degree. You're looking at your 4 to 5 years here at Cal State San Marcos. So it's where you can see all your required courses. Those are your GEs, your major courses, maybe some electives, some lower divisions, upper divisions, everything. So what's really, really important here on this page is your preferences. So on the left there, I have it little highlighted in a pink box. Every semester, Degree Planner will take whatever units you put, like the amount that you want, and it'll automatically fill it up with classes. So right now, if you look at it, it might look a little weird. We can definitely change it. That's no problem. It just does it automatically. So if you click that button that says Edit Preferences, you can actually change that. So for this student, this is just an example. You can see fall 2022, they have 13 units. Well, what if they're like, well, I kind of don't like spring 2024, 17 units. Maybe I'll add stuff there. If you click on Edit Preferences, that's where you can change the unit amount. Or maybe like one semester, you're like, wow, 17 units, I definitely don't want to do that. I can only do 12. Like I work a full-time job. I have other things going on. That's totally fine. You can do that as well. So that's the Edit Preferences. Arrange My Plan is another really, really important button. So you'll click on that on your Degree Planner if you want to move things around. And I'll show you we can show you like a little tutorial on how to do that. Don't be afraid to click on that. A lot of students are like, I don't want to mess anything up. When you hit Arrange My Plan, Degree Planner will not let you move important things around or like let you know like this is critical, like math, for example. You have to take that like certain semesters, so you won't be able to change it. So it's really important that you can play around with it. And then if you want, you can meet with an advisor. You can meet with myself. You can meet with Trevor. You can meet with your mentor and kind of just go over, hey, if I move this down here, what's going to happen? Feel free to do that. And then lastly, here is our legend. Most people ignore this and they shouldn't. I mean, I'll say up above is important dates. Don't ignore that. A lot of people skim over it. Hopefully you look at it. But a lot of people don't look at the legends. So what that basically is all the GEs you need in your Degree Planner. It can be confusing. It says like C1, C2, C3, DH, D7. You're like, what does this mean? This is telling you exactly what it means. So like you could see like C1 is arts, C2 is humanities, and so on and so forth. So It's really, really important. It's really nice that they put that in there. So those are all the general education courses you need. Well, what if you're like, wait, general education, what's that? Because a lot of people like get confused on what they have to take. So everybody takes GEs, everybody. It's just the basis, right? Universities all have this. They want you to be a well-rounded student, even though you guys are STEM students. We still want you to take writing classes. We want you to take art classes, humanities, languages. So this is the same for everybody in our college. I have the link here and I'll put up these slides. I'll send an email so you can click on it. But if you just literally type in Google, like CSUSM, general education worksheet, this should be like the first result or one of the first results. We can break it down just a little bit. So you can see on the left is like different areas, right? So we have like basic skills, area A. This is very, very similar to what you all did in high school. You guys had A through G, I believe. We have like A through F, so just a couple more classes. So like these are the big three like basic skills that everybody takes. And so you can see up here, select one class from each line. So if we use this as an example, here's line 3, A3 critical thinking. You have to take one course with 3 units. You don't have to take all of these. You just pick one of them because it's a 3-unit course. Most people do this one, but you're totally open to choose others. Or like here's science. Here's a little bit more like complex. So you can see up here, it says non-science majors. You guys are all science majors, so you don't have to worry about that. You want to look under here. B1 courses intended for science majors. So all these little asterisks I want to mention, because I didn't print out the whole sheet, but those classes with asterisks have prerequisites, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So before you choose a class, you want to make sure that it doesn't have too many prerequisites or that you've taken those classes. They're just classes you need before you take it. And then here's like our last example, arts. There's so many things listed here. Once again, you only need to choose one thing as long as it's 3 units. Cool. Any questions so far on GEs? I know usually, so I showed this to my GEL class and they had a lot of questions on what's offered because when they looked up in class what was in the spring, some of these courses weren't available. And so that's true. In the fall, most courses are available. Once we get to spring, things switch around. Maybe we have different lectures. It's just not offered. So definitely keep an eye out, have some backups. Let's say, I don't know, you pick, AMD like 103 and it's not offered in the spring. Make sure you have some other courses you're interested in. Cool. Oh, and I want to mention, because Trevor brought this up, so thank you, Trevor. Language other than English, you guys can take any language. It doesn't have to be a certain level. It doesn't have to be like a certain language either. So you can take like Spanish 101, or let's say, I don't know, you speak French, you could take French 102. You just need one language course. Even if you took a language in high school. Everyone always asks me that too. I know it sucks, but you need to take another language. It's just, we want you to be well-rounded. Cool. Okay. So what about your major courses, right? Those are all GEs. Everyone has to take them. Major courses is once you start like going into your STEM major. So same sort of thing, you can just Google, I put the link, but you can totally Google major courses, Cal State San Marcos, Office of Advising should be the first result. But you can also just click on the link after this workshop. So on that page on the left, you can see there's like general education requirements. You go down a little more, there's major and minor worksheets. So that's what you're gonna wanna look at. So most of you won't hit some of those courses until your junior year because of math. So I say that, like, we'll talk about prereqs, like I said, but like chemistry is a really good example. You need math 101 or 105. So you have to pass those courses with a C or better. And then once you do that, you can take like a lot of STEM courses. And sometimes you need calculus too. I know for computer science, that's definitely true. But you could still check it out and see what you're going to take. So I have an example here, electrical engineering. So once you click on your major, this is what's going to pop up. It's like a PDF. I recommend downloading it, print it out. I'm like a tactile person, so I would print out all my stuff and like put it on my wall, mark it off. Definitely do whatever you're comfortable with. So like I said, be aware of the prereqs. So you can see just preparation for electrical engineering, right? This is after you take a bunch of GEs. You have to take calculus. You have to take Calc 2, Calc 3, 3 physics courses. And you can see for physics, and even like calculus, right? There are a bunch of prerequisites. Remember the asterisks. So keep that in mind. But this is good to plan for the future too. Like we're planning for spring, but if you want, you can totally go further in your degree planner and select courses. The same thing here, electrical engineering is very specific. There's like sequence you have to follow here, but that could be true for a lot of you for like chemistry and biochemistry. There's like a sequence you follow. Cool. Okay, I want to go over this super, super important thing. It always comes up when people are talking about major courses, even GEs. So sometimes you can take one class and it knocks out 2 requirements. It knocks out your GE and it knocks out your major. That's amazing because you don't want to, it's like a 2-for-1 special. I used to say it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, but I don't like that analogy. 2-for-1 special is better. So for example, this is for electrical engineer, but this is true for a lot of majors. If this person takes Physics 201 on their GE sheet, you see they have a choice, right? They have 3 choices. They can do the 101 or the 201. If they take the 201 on their major worksheet, it counts. So this knocks out that requirement and the B1 requirement. That's awesome. But I'm telling you this because I want you to be careful and be aware. Let's say this person didn't take that and they took Physics 101. That's great. I'm glad they took physics. So they knocked out their GE. They still have to take Physics 201 eventually. So you can see how I said it's like a 2-for-1 special. A lot of people will take like Chem 101, Chem 105, Physics 101, because it sometimes doesn't require a lab, and that's fine. The other ones do, but the other ones also count for your major. So it's a total personal preference. If you don't mind taking like another physics course, like for this person, they're going to take 3 already. I always definitely recommend waiting because sometimes you can't take it because of the prereq. It's always worth waiting a little bit. But this is totally individual, right? So if you ever have questions, you want to talk about this tip more, we can totally talk about that one-on-one. Any questions on this? Does this make sense to everybody? Like I said, this happens with multiple majors. It's not just engineering. This can totally happen with biochem and chemistry with Chem 150. You need Chem 150 to get up to your chem classes. So it does count for that physical science requirement. And it counts for the lab. Okay, let's move on. Okay, back to actual degree planner. So once you scroll down a little bit, we're going to focus on spring 2022. So when you scroll down, you'll see this. So on the left side is the requirement of like the actual like subject or topic. So you can see this person, they need math, they need GEW writing, GEO oral communication, GE critical thinking. It's like those big 3, and then they need like a random humanities in any of those areas. And then if you go down, like math is critical. Like I said, you have to take that. Most STEM majors have to take that immediately. And then you could see the units. Then what's important here is the courses. So some courses are default. Like you can see for Math 105, yeah, you have to take Math 105. There's no other class that counts. Same thing with GEW, GEO. So these are already pre-selected. They're like defaulted in. Some of them you can actually choose, and that's where the fun part of this comes in. And it's what we're going to do after I'm done talking. We're actually going to go in, choose, answer questions. So once you see something is not selected, you can actually hit select, and that's what we're going to go over next. The whole list of like classes you can take. But I would say the first step is definitely look at your degree planner. Decide if you do like the way it looks for this semester. If you don't, hit arrange my plan. Like for this person, if I were to meet with them, I would tell them do not do all of these at the same time. That's a lot of reading, writing, a lot of assignments and papers and essays and presentations. So I probably tell them to move one of these at least and maybe take a fun a fun humanities, not like a literature course, which you could take for humanities. But once you're like happy with how this looks, you'll hit arrange, or sorry, you don't have to hit arrange my plan, you hit select for every class that is not selected. So once you hit select, it's going to take you here to this page. So you can see there's tons of courses, like it's just a screenshot, but for every course, it's like I could scroll down forever. It's pretty long. The important thing to know is you can filter courses. So here I chose C2 humanities. Like, let's say like you already took, I don't know, you took like a government course, you took political science already. So you don't want to see any of those. You would just check mark the ones you do want to take. So in this example, I did humanities. You can do like the course level. The difference between that is 100 to 199. Those are lower division. And then 200 to 299. Those are upper division courses. They could be a little more challenging, could have more writing, but I've definitely had freshmen and sophomore take those courses. They were totally fine. And then of course, below that is units. You can take a 3 or 4 unit course. And so in my example, like I said, I did humanities. So all these humanity courses came up. You can read about it. Like, you know, here's a little acronym, the number. If you click the little purple button, little I, it'll give you information about the course. You have the course title, how many units it is. What's really important that I tell students to look out for is on the right side here, and I've highlighted it. It tells you exactly what it counts for, and that's super important. Like, look at this first one. It counts for C1, C2, and C3. That's awesome. It knocks all of those out. Whereas like some of them, you know, they just count for C2. Here's one that counts for C2, C3. So it's up to you. You don't have to do those courses because we want you to choose something you're interested in because you'll do well if you're interested in it. But I definitely recommend trying to do courses that knock out at least 2 requirements. Cool. So then you select your course. It goes back into your degree planner and you should be all set to go. So there are some things to keep in mind. So this is just choosing your courses. This isn't like we're enrolling today. I'll mention it, but you all should have gotten a date. And on that date the school gives you, that's the day you actually go in and enroll. This is just planning. So there are certain things to keep in mind, some errors to keep in your head. There are support courses. So some of you may know this already, but for example, Math 105 has Math 5. Math 101 has Math 1. Even like, I think calculus, they don't have a support course, but they have an activity course. So when you do enroll in those courses, make sure you read the description, the info. Is there a co-requisite? Is there an activity section? Is there a lab? Is there a support course? You want to make sure you're enrolling in both things because sometimes the system won't automatically put that support course in and it won't let you enroll. You'll get an error, and on enrollment day, it's like very stressful. So beforehand, definitely make sure that you have all the courses needed just for another course, a prereq, a co-req, a support course. Same thing with the writing class, GEW 100, you have to enroll in GEW 101A. And of course, like I mentioned, the prereq, so the example I always give, Math 105 for Chem 150. Right now, I'll just say Chem 150 used to have a prereq of like Chem 101 or like a Chem placement exam. That isn't true right now because we're still not sure about like being on campus full time. So the Chem department has like pushed that off. So you don't need to take a test or anything. Right now, it's just math, which is good news. Pay attention, and we'll talk about this when the schedule's released because we don't have the schedule. It's not released till like the 19th, but when it does get released, you'll have to look for, is it asynchronous or synchronous? Is it fully online or is it a predetermined meeting time? Are we going to meet like on Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 to 2? Or is it just I do it on my own time? There's no meetings. I just talk to the professor when I can. We want to make sure you're choosing the right class for you. And some of you have, put forth, oh, I have to have a meeting time or I have to be on campus for this course. So we definitely want you to make those choices that work for you. And lastly, the unit count. So as you saw on that example student, most of their units hit 12 units. That's because that's enough to be a full-time student. So you'll qualify for financial aid, which is great. You want to qualify for financial aid, get all the money that you applied for through FAFSA. You won't be allowed to enroll into more than 16 units until a little bit later in the month. And then most freshmen, I don't think you can do more than 19. I think that's the max. And that's a lot, by the way. It's a lot of units. I don't recommend doing that unless you're comfortable. Cool. Okay. And then lastly, before we jump in, do some one-on-one stuff, here are some really, really important dates. So like I mentioned, on Wednesday, November 10th, you should have gotten a date. It's going to be on your student center on the right side towards the bottom. You should have got a date for winter like a couple weeks ago. And I know that was confusing. People were like, wait, are we enrolling for spring? That was for winter intersession. Right above that it should say spring 2020 enrollment appointment with a specific day and a specific time. And that's the day you're going to log into your student center and you're going to go to the enroll page and you're going to enroll into your courses. The 19th is when this class schedule is posted, so you can see it. You can't enroll yet, but it's good to plan. You can write down maybe your math class is in person, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or something. You can write that down. Make sure you write down the class number. You could just start planning. You could see professors. You could see if it's asynchronous, the days, the times. So it's really important. And I'll send an email for that too. Like, hey, the schedule's posted. Go check it out. And then lastly, the 29th is the first day to enroll. For you guys, I think you guys enroll like a couple, maybe a week after that. But that's like the first day for like certain groups. So like TRIO or like veterans or former foster youth, they have priority days. But all of you guys should be sometime in December, which is pretty close to the 29th. Okay, cool. So that's basically it. That's just a quick overview. But part of this workshop is you guys probably have questions. Maybe you have like stuff you want to share like on your side. And we can actually, let me end this real fast. We can actually like help you out one-on-one. So we have Trevor here. We have Enrique. So if you guys have any questions, please let us know. Or if you need any assistance, we could put you in a breakout room.
Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself or just put it in the chat if you're like, hey, I want to meet one-on-one, or if I have a question. We're literally here for you. So.
Exactly.
Sarah.
Of course.
Yeah, that presentation was impressive.
Oh, yeah, good job on presenting. I do have a question though. You were saying how like the enrollment dates for the spring 22 term. Wait, so it's under the student center and then it's on the right under the enrollment dates, but I clicked on like the enrollment appointments, and like it's a little confusing to understand it. So like how exactly do I go about that?
So it should tell you, do you see like spring 2022?
Yeah.
Okay, it is confusing. I just talked to someone about this today. Does it say like a first date, like December something?
Well, after the winter intersession one, it goes like it says like regular academic session, December 10th, 2021, 11 a.m.
Perfect. So that's your enrollment day. So that's the day it starts and the time it starts. And then they give you like something after, like till January 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is confusing. Like I said, I talked to someone about that. So it's just telling you the day that you can start enrolling, and the 23rd is actually the last day you can enroll. You don't want to wait that long.
Oh, okay.
Most of the classes get taken up. So that day and time is personally for you to like log in and to like actually enroll.
Okay. So wait, so is that the earliest that I can, or like what is like the actual earliest that everyone can?
That's the earliest that you can. The earliest for everybody, like it starts opening, is the 29th. But so we actually do it in tiers, and like I can show you guys because I was just looking at it.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, when I was enrolling for a fall semester, I remember like, I was trying to get like a certain class or something, and it was already like too late because my enrollment was later than a couple others. So like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so let me show you like the tier list. just to be transparent. And the registrar does like have this on their website, but they don't really send emails. So let me share it with you guys. So you guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is just the office of the registrar. They're the ones that send out all those dates and they help everybody with enrollment. And so you can see, you know, they say, oh, it starts the 29th. The class schedules on the 19th. So students are assigned a specific day. So if you scroll down, sorry, it's on this page, enrollment dates. Oh, it actually shows you a little screenshot. Let me zoom in. It's kind of blurry, but yeah, so it should be on the right side. And here's the table of like all the groups. So for you guys, it actually goes, we used to say it goes by like level of like if you're a freshman, sophomore, but it actually is more in depth than that. It goes by units.
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense actually.
Yeah. So the seniors, right? Usually they only need a couple units. So like they're the first ones. They got to get out of here. They got to graduate on time. For you guys, I mean, if you're just starting, you have like 90 units.
Yeah.
Or more. So that's why you can see most people are going to end up here.
Oh, okay. I see now. All right.
Yeah, but that's a good question. And I mean, it is a good point. Classes do fill up very quickly. So that's why it's good to prepare ahead of time and also make like backups, like figure out if I don't get into this course, what can I take after?
Right.
And like, that's something you can talk to us about too. Like, hey, Sarah, like, I don't think I'm going to get into GEW. Can you like explain if it gets taken up all the time? Like we know for certain math courses, they get taken up. So we can always help you with that.
Oh, okay. Got it. I was like, okay, yeah, because no one had explained that. And I was like, well, that's weird because they said it's like this date, but like I can't, obviously enroll at that date. So yeah, okay, that makes much more sense.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, like I said, all this stuff is online, but nobody like sends it to you directly. So that's why we do this, make it more transparent.
Yeah.
I just had a question about like classes and what you guys recommend.
Oh yeah, sure. Do you want to go in a breakout room?
If you want, I don't really mind though.
Do you want to be our example?
Sure.
I mean, we could always cut it out of the recording, but yeah, sure. We can talk about what classes you want to take.
Yeah, so I'm in the degree planner. It says like I have to take a critical thinking class. And the options it gives me are like the critical reading and writing, and then the regular critical thinking, and then the critical thinking and psychology. So like, which one do you guys think is like best, if that makes sense?
Your major?
Yeah.
My major is computer science.
Philosophy 110.
Okay.
I would
So that's
just
the
say
best
that
one?
for pretty much anyone that's in this program, considering that Philosophy 110 gives you a way of critical thinking. And you said your major was computer science?
Yes.
So knowing a lot about the, I guess you could say,
argument structure, logic.
Yeah, argument structure is like super important in computer science. I think for even like math majors like myself, it was very heavily implied I should take Philosophy 110 because it's just a way of like structuring your arguments and like how that works. And you'll definitely, one of the big things that you're going to end up taking is discrete mathematics, and that is huge on how you structure your proofing and your arguments for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Philosophy 110 is an option, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And then my other question was just about like the sciences, how like it makes me choose like either biology, chem, or physics. And like how there's like 104, 105, and like stuff like that. Like how does that work?
What math are you in currently?
Right now I'm in 101, I think. Yeah.
So you'll be in math 105. So let me pull up the computer science like GU.
Yeah, computer science. So for your major, you have to take a biology, chemistry, or physics that counts towards a science major. That just means it's not like courses like I don't know, let's say a business major needs to take like a bio class, they're not going to take like biology 210, for example, that has like a lab and everything.
Oh, okay.
So for you, like computer scientists usually take physics. You can
Yeah.
totally take chemistry, but I heard physics is recommended just because it's more relatable to your major than chemistry.
Mhm.
What
And can I
physics
just,
does computer science have to take?
sorry?
Like what physics class or what physics course specifically do computer scientists have to take?
They usually do 201 because like going back to that 2-for-1 special thing, that counts also for the requirement for computer science and the GE.
You could hold off on your GE science and then
Yeah.
wait until 201 pops up.
Yeah, and
You.
honestly, like prerequisite wise, math 160 calculus is going to prepare you more for physics 201 than a physics 101 course will.
That's facts. This is coming from the
Okay.
person that took physics or GES 102, and that was physics. So
So which one do you guys think I should take?
I would say like do another like GE course, so like humanities. You can do. Have you done a language?
No, that's what I wanted to do actually. So
Yes.
instead of a science class, do the language class.
Exactly. Like you are totally welcome to take like, Chem 101 or like Physics 101 because, you don't have calculus. But like I said, later you're going to take physics anyway.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's a personal thing. Some people are like, oh, I'm down to I love chemistry. I'll take all of them. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I always recommend probably do your GEs because you have to do those anyway as a freshman and as a sophomore.
All right. Well, that's the questions I had.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can just go to arrange your plan and move stuff around. Definitely look for like that language course. There's lots of like humanities courses you can take for sure.
Want to focus on my major, obviously, but I think I do want to go get a minor in either economics or statistics. And I was wondering, I believe because I spoke to an academic advisor, and I think they said economics falls under, was it COBA, right? The College of Business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but does statistics fall under STEM or COBA?
So statistics, we don't have let me double check. I don't think we have a formal minor in statistics here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The minor, if you wanted to go the statistics route, a minor in math could be helpful, or even like computer science. Wait, what's your major?
Right now it's biochemistry, but next semester I was planning on changing, so that's why I was wondering about that.
What were you planning on changing it to?
I was planning on changing my major to psychology.
Okay. Let's see. Because you'll do a lot of stats in psychology. I was gonna say if you're sticking with biochemistry, then I would minor in psych if you wanted to do some stats. But let me make sure. But I don't think we have a statistics program here. More specific, finance would be another possible minor that deals more specifically with like stocks and stuff.
Oh, okay. So just finance in general. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Okay. And then do the general, so my GEs that I take over the years, whenever those, like I'm done taking GEs and I'm ready to start going for my minor, would those GEs apply to the minor, like the prerequisites?
Yes, they would. So a lot of your chances to cover the general education, you can actually feed your minor. What I mean by that is I kind of did a similar thing originally. Is I took macroeconomics, econ 202, I believe.
Mhm.
for one of my general education requirements. I think instead of taking a humanities, I just took econ. So it would have satisfied that requirement if I wanted to keep on going with economics.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that. You can think about, okay, yeah, you have these GEs that almost seem random, but if you know, like, hey, I want to center it either finance or econ or whatever, you can think, okay, what in the realm of these classes can I start taking care of those requirements? And the minor requirements are also on the site, so you can see what classes satisfy those as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Those are the ones I need to take a look at because I haven't looked in because I was still deciding which ones still. So
Cool.
okay.
Here,
Yeah.
me-
Really quick, I can show you, Nico, and just for the whole workshop too.
Sure.
So, Office of Advising, they have your GEs, your major minor, and so you can see all the minors that are offered. So, like, let's say we were talking about, like, I don't know, economics. If you click on that, it'll show you the courses that you need.
Oh, okay.
So, like here's an example. That's what Trevor means too. Like, here's Math 160.
Yeah.
Technically, that does cover the math requirement of a GE. So you can definitely plan it out. Hey guys, just wanted to end the workshop. We got into more like personal things with certain students, but thank you so much for watching. As always, please, 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 you can email me. You can email Trevor. You can talk to your mentors. So like Enrique is a mentor. Feel free to reach out to them because they're students just like you. They probably know like some more tips and tricks when it comes to like planning your classes, when it comes to actually enrolling, using schedule assistant, using your shopping cart. And if all these things are not making sense to you, all these words I'm saying, don't worry. That was just our first workshop. So that's just straight up how to use Degree Planner, how to plan for your classes. So our next series of workshops that are going to come up probably like the first week of December, second week of December. I think the first week we're going to do how to like actually schedule your courses. So that's using Schedule Assistant, which is like you can see all the dates, all the times, who's teaching, is there a wait list, is it online, is it in person, is it hybrid? So Schedule Assistant's amazing for that. So we'll go over that. And we'll also have probably another mentor or tutor kind of go over how to enroll just through your shopping cart. So that's straight up how to browse classes and then add it. And your shopping cart is where you're going to put your courses. And then the day you enroll, you just go to that link, to your enroll link, and you're just going to have all your stuff in the little cart and you're going to hit enroll. It's super, super straightforward. But we definitely want to get you there because we know from the summer, maybe things are a little blurry. You're like, I don't really remember how to enroll. So definitely we're here for you. Like I said, please email us. We're on Teams. If you have Microsoft Teams, hit us up on Teams. All right, guys, look for those other enrollment workshops, and I'll see you later.